I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we delve into the heart-wrenching yet profoundly inspiring story of the Inpatient Years, To My Husband Bill. It's written by Jean Kaiserling. This memoir is a testament to the resilience of human spirit, detailing her descent into depression after the sudden loss of her husband Bill and her courageous path to recovery through inpatient psychiatric hospitalization. Join us right now as we explore her journey from despair to hope and the lessons she shares on surviving the unthinkable. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her wonderful, important books. The links are below this interview. Jean, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
My pleasure. I know your first book is called I Know You Love Me, To My Husband Bill, which tells the story of your life with Bill. Tell us a little bit about that.
It started because my husband worked for a electric company and was called in during a flood, which we don't normally have in Wisconsin or in Milwaukee anyway. And he was injured on the job, burned by steam, and was taken to a hospital. So they called me and I went there and et cetera. So I went through that trauma of it first happening. And after 19 days of ups and downs, he died. So obviously it impacted me very strongly. Shock took me through a long amount of time, but it really turned to a very deep depression, anxiety. I ended up going to a psychiatrist and seeing therapists, and my psychiatrist called it stuck in depression. Anyway, so the book kind of, it goes through those first through a couple of years, but the book is also filled with my memories of an extremely happy marriage. Bill was a wonderful guy, very much liked. We had just a great relationship, and so I put both in the first book just so that you get a feeling of what we had.
Yeah. I mean, you had a profound love for each other. That's what it is, and a profound connection. And then when you lost him, you had a profound loss. I mean, that's the paradox of loving deeply, is that you're going to hurt just as deeply when that person's gone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what the book really is about. It's about loss, it's about grief, and it's about love.
Yeah.
It's a love story.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful tribute to your husband as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure that made you feel very connected to him, to write your story, to think about him, to recall all of the times that you had together that made such a great life together. And I don't blame you. I don't think anybody could blame you for being so stuck in depression, as you said, at the loss of Bill, that you actually needed to turn to professional help, which was the right thing to do, because that's what you needed at that time. And that's the focus of your second book, The Inpatient Years. Tell us
Yes.
about that book.
As time went on, and actually from day one when he died, all I could think about was I wanted to be back with him. And I'm not trying to, knowing like he couldn't come back to me.
Yeah.
My thoughts always turned to God. And, Bill and I both had a very strong belief in God. I knew he was in heaven, or at least his soul. And so I wanted to join him. And as the time went on, it started to do bad things to me. The prolonged time of just me being here by myself and missing him. So I did what I should not have done. I turned to drink.
Mm.
Heavily. For me, that was extreme because I was never a heavy drinker. So this was a whole new world for me. And more, I sought help from the psychiatrists and therapists, but because I kept talking to them about wanting to die,
Mm.
and I did attempt it a few times, but I know God always stopped me.
Yeah.
And so, but the psychiatrist, mostly felt like I need more help.
Mm.
So that's where my life entered into the mental health facilities.
Yeah. How long were you in the mental health facilities, and were they able, obviously they were able to help you, right?
They did. They serve to calm you down. They're not. It's not like a live-in type facility. Where mental patients go and it's kind of that's going to be their life. Through the hospital, it's because you're having some kind of acute issue,
Mhm.
especially about thinking about death.
Yeah.
And so you go in, and the idea is maybe you'll be there for 3 to 5 days. Sometimes it does go into a couple weeks, and a lot of times that was me.
Mhm.
And so it was like I went in, I got calmed down. I never got cured, but I got calmed
Right.
down.
Right.
Then I'd go back to my regular life, but then something would edge me towards anniversaries and things, and so that was life for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. W- How are you now? And has there been a turning point in your life where you said, you know what, life is worth living? Bill would want me to be happy. Bill would want me to enjoy the years that I have on this earth.
Everybody told me that constantly, and I
Yeah.
knew that Bill would want me to be happy.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not like it. I don't dislike everything. I mean, but my favorite thing is I love my home. I love I have quite a large yard, and so I'm a gardener. I have a dog that
Mm.
gives me love. I've always had dogs.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'm calmer now.
Yeah.
I don't have these episodes. I don't drink except for occasionally, a drink.
Right.
I was never addicted to drinking.
Right.
It was just a means to numb the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing okay
Yeah.
now, but what has not let go is just I still want to be with Bill. I would
Yeah.
never try to attempt it anymore, but that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
I've become more interested in learning more about God, the Bible,
Mm.
because that's my connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Your faith sustains you knowing that one day you will be reunited.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm sure of that.
I'm sure of that
Yeah.
too. I'm sure of that too. Well, Bill certainly knows you love him. I'm sure he's watching you right now as you do this interview, and I'm sure he's extremely proud of you and the tributes you have written to him. The first book is called I Know You Love Me to my husband, Bill. The second book is called The Inpatient Years to my husband, Bill. All of Jean's books, as you can see, are dedicated to the husband that she loves so dearly. Jean has written these books. They are more than memoirs. They are more than stories. They are testaments to the resilience of the human spirit, detailing her time of falling off the path to her time of realizing that life is worth living, although she still looks forward to someday being reunited with her husband, Bill, in God's kingdom, as we know she will be. Jean, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much, too.
I appreciate your time and God bless you. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.